How's it going, everyone? This is Jamie from jamiewargames.wordpress.com, here bringing you the first in a new series, which is my Sunday vlogs. I'm just trying to use this as a way to keep working within the hobby and to give some kind of an update on what I'm up to. I found that doing the blog posts have been fairly inconsistent in getting these out, so I'm hoping that doing this sort of once a week roundup will not only help me get the information out to you, but also for me to actually keep on doing the stuff I enjoy doing rather than getting caught up in video games and stuff. So this is just going to be something I'm going to run once a week. It's going to be 10 to 15 minutes long, and it'll cover several aspects of what I've been doing this week. So we're going to have a bit about what I've been working on in terms of painting and modelling. We're going to have any battles that I've fought, and I'm thinking of doing some kind of a theme for the week. So it could be like an overview of one of my armies, it could be a unit, it could be some kind of painting tip, or it could be anything. That will depend on basically what I've done that week. So this week is going to be Eldar because that's what I've been working on this week. I've had 2 battles this week with using my Eldar, one on a larger game and one part of a narrative campaign, and I've also been building some more of my Eldar upgrades, doing some paintworks, and I'm going to also take a few minutes and just go over all of my Eldar because I've just clipped this week over 5,000 points of Eldar. So without a doubt we'll get on to the hobby updates of the week. Okay, so the first thing on the agenda is the hobby updates. This week I've been working mainly on my Eldar, getting them ready for the narrative campaign, and also building up the battle force that I just got, the stuff that got me over 5,000 points of Eldar finally. My Craftworld is coming on very nicely. Apart from that, I've also done a few conversions, fixing up some of the older models that I kind of neglected a little bit, and making a couple of the custom Exarch weapons that don't come in the box, just so I have some variety. I end up having a lot of Exarch models, so I'd like to be able to use some of the different weapons and see what the ones that I haven't used yet are like. I've also managed to build my Infinity stuff as well and get them based. They're not fully painted yet, but I have some good ideas on what to do on that, and I'm looking forward to getting into that at my local club. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the Striking Scorpions that I've been working on. They're not fully finished yet, but they're getting there. It's enough to get the general idea. This is the Shrine of the Bone Carvers. The idea behind this group is that they're a very morbid, very dark kind of shrine. There's horrible initiation tests that nobody really speaks of, and it's a very low success rate. The Exarch is kind of creepy, but it's sort of, we'd rather have them on our side than their side. So to represent that, rather than my usual bone and green armour with the bone helmet, these guys wear entirely bone coloured armour with some red markings and runes on them because they're kind of a bit psychotic, even more than Striking Scorpions normally are. So here's one of the Aspect Warriors that is almost done at the moment. This is one of the metal models. I mean, the sword's not finished, it's obviously not based, but yeah, I kind of like the look. It's a different aesthetic and they certainly stand out. I was thinking of doing sort of a more muted colour scheme with some blacks and stuff because, well, you know, they're supposed to be sneaky, but I quite like this stark kind of, these guys are going to kill you, they're going to shoot you in the face, and then they're going to blast the man you blast. It's just horrible, nasty kind of things. The other thing I'm kind of annoyed at is that I got a Finecast section of the new Striking Scorpions, then I got another box set off eBay somewhere, but the box set off eBay only came with the biting blade, and the Finecast set, the claw was horrible. There was loads of bubbles and all sorts of nasty stuff. The claw didn't look like a claw, it looked like sort of like a clump on the end of his fist. So I scrapped that idea, and instead I'm using the biting blade for now. I'll proc it in as a Scorpion's Claw if I need to, but also big two-handed chainsaw is kind of cool. So here's the Exarch. He's not at the same state as the other Aspect Warrior. I can't remember his name at the moment. I don't know if... yeah, no, it doesn't say. Okay. But then, this is the Exarch of the squad with his giant chainsword. One thing I noticed is, if you can see, just on the base there, there's actually a little scorpion on the Striking Scorpion's base, which I think is kind of cool. So, you might have to come up with a little name for his little attack scorpion that jumps up and does things. The other stuff I've been doing is I've had a look at some of my old Exarch models. So, I've got 3 groups of Hireling Banshees, and 3 groups of Warp Spiders. And I've got an Exarch for each of these 3 groups. well, the warp spines all have the same because the Exarch is just that one foes with the power blades and the dual death spinners, and the Banshee Exarch, one has a power glaive, and one has the mirror swords, and one was just had no arms. So what I did is I made a Trisklet. I think that's how you pronounce it, a Trisklet. The Frisbee of Death, anyway, that the Howling Banshees use, and I created a spinneret rifle because I wanted to try that with the new rules. It might actually, having some AP one-shots with fast shot could actually be kind of good. So this is my Trisklet conversion. The pistol is just from, I think it's the Finecast Altark model, one with the wings. And the Trisklet, it's Dire Avenger arm piece. The Dire Avenger is a really good kit for kit bashing Eldar. And the fins there, I can't remember. Oh, I know. So yeah, the Night Spinner, the turret. They have the fins coming off the Death Spinners, and I've just taken that, and there's a little doohickey thing on the bottom, and so she's just running forward, about to play frisbee with someone, hopefully bisect them into tiny pieces. The other one is that I tore down my Exarch and gave him a spinneret rifle. So this is my spinneret rifle Exarch Warp Spider model. Again, not painted or anything. So I took down the power blades on the one arm because I didn't need the power blades. You know, they're quite expensive for a non-combat unit. This is again the Reaper launcher from the Finecast Altark model. And I don't know, it's not the best fit. I'm not really going to show the bed off, but basically I filed down and chewed away at his other arm until there was just sort of a stump left where the ribbons take over, and then just bang, glue the Reaper launcher on, take off the end, and then stick the end of the Death Spinner on. So you know, it's a big rifly thing. I've done better than this, but at least I have the model now to try out some different things. So maybe once painted up it'll look a bit better. And finally the hobby front, building up the Infinity models. Now I'm not going to show all of these, I've got about a dozen of them at the moment for the Hassassin faction. I decided to go for Space Islam, it's kind of cool. I'm also reading Dune at the moment, really good book, under the inspiration of, again, Islam and space, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm only going to show off one model here, which is going to be the Hassassin Lasiq, which is the sniper model here. Again, I don't know if you'll be able to see her very well. She is just a really awesome model, really cool, good detail. And someone pointed out to me at the gaming store that she actually looks a bit like Tali Zora from the Mass Effect games, if you played that. I played them, and in fact Tali was my romance character. So I've decided in tribute of that fictional relationship that I had, I'm going to paint the sniper up as Tali Zora, as they look quite reminiscent. So yeah, look forward to that. That's it on the hobby front, so I'm just going to talk about the battles in a few minutes, and we'll see where we end up with that. So I fought two battles this week, one at the gaming club against Blood Angels, and one in my local Games Workshop store as part of the narrative campaign against Chaos Space Marines. The first game I played against the Blood Angels was testing out a tournament list that I've been trying to work out the balances of, which basically runs along the lines of Serpent Spam stroke Mechanized Eldar. So the first game, I brought Eldred Ulthran, I brought 3 groups of 9 Dire Avengers and a group of Fire Dragons. All of those were in the Wave Serpents with Scatterlasers and Holofields. I then brought a Falcon with a Bright Lance and Holofield, and I brought a Fire Prism with Holofields. My opponent brought Blood Angels combined with Grey Knights, so he brought a Librarian and a Priest with an Assault Squad. He brought a Scout Squad, a Storm Raven, a Dreadnought and a Drop Pod with a Frag Cannon, nasty piece of work. And for a Bile Predator, that's it, with the Assault Cannons. He then also brought a Strike Squad with Coteas, and he brought an Inquisitor with 3 Plasma Cannon Servitors. All the psychic powers they rolled were Prescience. Incidentally, I remember back in the good old days when re-rolling dice to hit was Eldar's thing. but now everyone gets to do it. Anyway, enough of a whine. So the game was the Relic, and it was quite a close game. The thing that really set me back was the Dreadnought dropped down to his turn 1, blew up the Fire Prism. That's okay, I was expecting something like that. But his Bald Predator managed to get a penetrating hit with his assault cannons on my Wave Serpent with the Fire Dragons in, which were just going to jump out and blow up the Dreadnought. He did get a stunned result, a shaken result, but anyway, the guys inside were snap firing, so this meant that when my Fire Dragons jumped out and tried to blow up the Dreadnought, not a single 6 was rolled, and then he promptly turned around and roasted the Fire Dragons and indeed the Wave Serpent that they jumped out of, because he was firing into its rear arc with this 2-shot Strength 6 AP4 Flamer template from the Frag Cannon. That really set me back, and well, if anyone's playing the Dawn of War game, yeah, that's kind of what happens if the Dreadnought gets into Eldar lines. We pressed on still, and some good damage was done. The Wave Serpents took a good tally, as usual. They put out consistent firepower, I've found. I think maybe 4 is too much at 1500 points, just because there's nothing really with much of a bite to it. I was tabled on turn 6, but all he had left was his scout squad, which had been untouched. He had 2 scouts left in a building in the very back corner, and his about half a dozen assault marines. Nothing that let me down was Eldrad. 3 saves in combat with the assault marines, 3 ones. It happens every now and again. So a little bit of bad luck here and there, but I rolled well for my Serpent Shields. Overall, I think I'm going to try and go for a hybrid list. I'm going to try and introduce some foot elements when we bring the Warp Spiders back, because they are very effective at doing damage. They're very manoeuvrable, so they can keep up with the army. I'd like to get the Shining Spears in, but I don't see it happening really. And I might try and bring some Guardian squads in for some foot on the ground objective holding stuff. But I haven't really played in a mission where we've had lots of objectives yet, so we'll have to experiment. The second game I played was against Chaos Space Marines, and this time I was bringing a thematic list. Those who've read the blog will know that I was bringing the Unyielding Stone Defense Force. The idea was that on the ice planet of Undecim, the Eldar were trying to establish a network of beacons in order to bring back the Webway Gate. Once the Webway Gate is available, the heavy troops can move on through. Unfortunately, a Chaos Patrol had discovered one of the beacons and were coming towards us. So what we had to do is we had to hold it. It was one objective in the centre, and we had to take and hold this beacon and prevent the Chaos Forces from destroying it while it's synchronised so we could bring the reinforcements. I used a Farseer and a group of Guardians on foot, I used a group of Dire Avengers on foot, and a group of Dark Reapers. The Dark Reapers with Guide, just horrible thing, even to Plague Marines, because it was they couldn't see, but with the barrage weapon of the Exarch, the Tempest launch, it was going do, 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 do. I mean, there's one where I got 3 direct hits, and so I did about 11 or 12 hits on this group of about 5 Plague Marines, all AP4 and AP3, but Strength 4, and it's just nasty things happened. In the end, I won that game. My Farseer was gravely wounded as a las cannon turned him into red mist. So thematically, the Exarch of the Dire Avengers and Eros is in command, and then next week it's going up to 1,000 points rather than 750, and it's going to be a Planet Strike game most likely. So in anticipation of that, I'm going to get my Swooping Hawks ready, because they're going to be really good in that. They don't scatter when they deep strike, they can assault with their deep strike, and they all have haywire grenades. It's going to be, you put a vehicle on a table and then I remove it for you, unless you have some interceptor weapons maybe. Anyway, that's all it is on the battlefronts. So now we're going to go on to the theme of the week, which is going to be the Craftworld of Myren'Shal. Okay everyone, so the theme of the week is going to be Eldar, particularly an overview of my collection. Been collecting for about 5 years now, give or take. Started with Hobby Camp at Games Workshop Warhammer World, and it's just sort of grown on from here. It's my largest army. Mostly Aspect Warrior themed. The colour scheme is sort of Bartan variant. Gone for a bit darker scheme with sort of a camo green and a bone colour to it. Also, the Aspect Warriors share the colours of the Craftworld, but I've tried to have them sort of be distinguished with associated colours, generally speaking. So yeah, let's just quickly go through and see what we've got here. So first of all, the HQ section. So we've got all sorts here. We've got the avatar of Cain there in the middle, still not painted yet. I do apologise for how much of this isn't painted. I'm not much of a painter, is the honest truth. We've got 3 Farseers. We've got Eldar Ulthran, the Psyker Biker on the back, and another Farseer here at the front. We've got a group of Warlocks, including an older school one at the back there, and I don't quite know where I got this guy from. He's just an unusual model. And then of course we've got 2 Phoenix Lords there. We've got Baroth and Mulgan Ra. We have an Autarch here, who sometimes uses the rules for Uriel. Thematically, she's possessed by the Avatar and uses similar rules to him. And we've got another Autarch on a bike who I made up as sort of a Harlequin type figure to emphasise the mantle of the Laughing God. Got some objective markers here as well, a few aspect shrines. We've got fallen Eldar warrior at the beacon, another relay, and a survivor defending himself behind a wall. Over to the troops. We've got 2 squads of guardians here, one with a bright lance, one with a star cannon, and a group of rangers in the front. And we've got 3 groups of Dire Avengers here. We've got a squad with 2 shuriken catapults, a squad here with a dire sword and shuriken pistol, and the unpainted squad at the back here. We have a power blade and shimmer shield. And we've got 3 groups of warp spiders here in the middle. We've got 1 Exarch with just the 2 death spinners. We've got 1 with the power blades and the death spinners, and then we've got the conversion I showed off earlier with the spinneret rifle. 3 groups of 5 there. Further across, we've got the real bulk of the army, the Aspect Warriors. So we've got a squad of Dark Reapers, including an old guy with a shuriken cannon. We've got a group of Fire Dragons there, old ones again with another conversion from Rogue Trade era. 3 groups of Banshees going on there. We've got the Power Glaive, the Executioner, that's it. We've got the Mirror Swords, and then we've got the Triskelet at the back. We've got 3 squads of Scorpions, the Bone Carvers as seen before, the Finecaster squad further back with the wonky blades, and we've got some old school ones there, and this is actually what became of the Claw for Mr. Krabs here, this little guy. It's quite fun looking at the size of them compared to the regular Scorpions. You can see here they're just massively smaller than the rest of them. At the back we've got 6 Swooping Hawks, no Exarch sadly, but well, that's what you get. Further back we've got the squad of Shining Spears and their Exarch, all with the sort of silver flames caressing across them. We've got a group of Shadow Spectres. I haven't used them much, but the Forge World ones with an Exarch conversion at the back there. And I've got the rules for Myrmia now, so I'm hoping to get some more use out of them. And we've got a Viper here with a Star Cannon and Shuriken Cannon. We've got a Wraith Lord here. He is actually magnetised. This is Brian, affectionately known. One day he'll be fully painted, but it is not this day. And in fact my only Wraith unit in this entire army. And then we have the mechanised wing. We have 7 tanks. So we've got 4 Wave Serpents. 1, 2, 3, 4. They all have scatter laser turrets, but for these 3, you can see there I've done a little conversion job at making my own turrets for the competitions, but I also have the Star Cannon turret shown here, and I have a missile launcher turret and a Bright Lance turret for the other 2 tanks. We've got a Fire Prism here, we've got a Falcon here. We do have another Fire Prism turret as well, so this occasionally becomes a Fire Prism as well. We have the Forge World Warp Hunter, which again I just have the rules for. It looks very scary. Torrent AP2 Flamer, D strength, and there's the Wave Serpent at the back. So yeah, this is about just over 5,000 points of Eldar goodness. The general theme is aspect warriors, but they're a very militant craft world. My next goal is to get everything painted, but pending that as well, I would like some more fire dragons, particularly. Start doubling up on some of the aspects. Some more swooping hawks would be nice. I might pick up another couple of vipers along the way, just to really solidify that. I've got enough Dire Avengers for my liking as well. But what I've really been eyeing up is the Forge World Super Heavy Lynx tank with its pulsars. Given a scatter laser with a laser lock, this thing could be putting out 2 twin-linked D-strength large blasts per turn. And for a Forge World tank, Super Heavy, it comes in at a fairly reasonable price of £76, which is only £6 more than a Wraith Knight. So I think now I've hit the 5,000 points mark, I may have to indulge myself and get a Super Heavy grav tank. But yeah, this is Craftworld Myren'Shal. I'll be uploading some more background and their origins and all that as we go along. And with the powers of film magic, I am now wearing a jumper. I've just been outside to do some spray painting, getting the battle force all sorted out, and also some of the Hassassin stuff as well, so hopefully should be able to get on with that, get some stuff done. So I'd like to say thank you for watching this video and taking the time. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Leave a like if you didn't enjoy it. Leave a comment if you have anything to say, whether it's feedback or just what you've been up to. You know, I'll read them all and reply where I can. Also check me out at jamiewargames.blogspot.com. Thanks for watching. This is Jamie out.